Hey there, Wall Street winners. It is Monday, March 11th, and we are about 18 minutes to market open. And just looking at the Bloomberg app on the iPhone here, we can see that futures are down across the board. You can see the Dow is off almost 0.5%, the same with the S&P 500 futures, and then the NASDAQ around the same as well. This coming off of Friday when we saw the chip stocks, particularly Broadcom and NVDA, but others as well, drop. NVIDIA dropped about 5.5% on Friday, and really caused a lot of concern and conversation around whether this is the end of the bubble. I think it's just one of those pullbacks. So at times, you're going to see a stock that is on a rocket ship trajectory pull back, and that pullback could, not saying in this case it does, because we can't predict the future, but it could present a unique buying opportunity. It's when you weigh in all of the other aspects that are going on, and I think it's fair to say that the adoption of AI is in the infancy stages. I mean, if you look at the numbers between OpenAI and subscriptions, I think only 1% of the population is using ChatGPT. So you compare that to the number of people that are using, say, Google search, and it's a very, very small percentage. And there's going to be a ton of companies that are laggards in adopting AI that will continue to propel sales of the technologies and the platforms behind it for years to come. Does that mean that NVIDIA is going to be on a rocket ship for 5 years? Probably not, but I think it still has a little bit of room for movement, as do the other semiconductors. We're going to see some reports this week. So we're going to see Oracle, which is a fairly large, primarily database company and cloud company, report at the end of the day today on Monday. We're going to have Adobe reporting end of day on Thursday. So that's another big software as a service company. Again, tied into AI there as well for automation around film editing and film creation and image generation. A lot of different aspects to that. And I'm sure they'll be making some AI related announcements in their future, in their earnings call and talking about future guidance. We've got our oil stocks. So today we're seeing that crude is off about $0.25, so 24 cents. But the stocks themselves are a mix of green and red, primarily green going into the open. They've been bouncing around quite a bit. This is an area where oil seems to be on an upward trajectory. So this is kind of an interesting space where you could probably make a purchase and hold it for a week or a month, as long as the trajectory continues upwards. And you could probably make a fairly decent percentage gain, and then you could exit that before it starts to retreat. So you've got some great options in there. And then as we get down into the tech sector, most of tech is in the green because NASDAQ futures are in the green right now. But I expect that whether it's today or tomorrow or Wednesday, certainly by Thursday, this is going to turn around. We're probably going to have another banner week for tech this week, and we're going to look to some of those Fab 7 big names to do that. So one of the things going on kind of in the periphery or behind the scenes is the White House and Joe Biden coming out and saying that he wants to ban TikTok and he would support a bill behind that. Donald Trump, on the other hand, is saying that that's not a great idea. I believe that's his current position. If they ban TikTok and or just during this discussion and debate on whether to do that, if it does get banned, it's going to help Meta. So Facebook Meta is definitely a stock to look at this point, because it's only going to benefit if there's anything done to remove TikTok from the United States. It's at, if we scroll to find Meta here, where do we have it in our list? It is already, I think, breaking the $500 range. So it's had a great run. Here we go, Meta. It's at almost 506. It's had a great run. It's down pre-market right now at 497. I think this has the potential to probably get up to 550 or 600 in the next 3 months, especially if there's a move to do anything to block or eliminate TikTok from the US market. It's highly likely that it won't 100% be blocked. It'll probably be sold, but either way, I think it'll bode well for Meta and the company that buys it as well, if there is a purchase. We've got some other movers here early morning. So NVDA is off about $7.50. I think that's this is, I think, going to be a buying opportunity. A number of retail investors, I would anticipate, are going to move into this, looking at this as a potential sale price or a good price to get in at. The stock being on sale in comparison to, I think, it hitting a high of last week I think it went up to $969, so almost $970. So we're $100 off where $95 off where it was on at a point on Friday. So there is some opportunity there. Google's coming back. It's another one that I like, even at $36.29. I think that there's going to be a positive upward trend in Adobe come the earnings announcements. It may not happen after market on Thursday, but it should happen Friday or the following week, next week. So I think that would be a strategic purchase this week if you're looking to ride the positive earnings waves that could come out of Adobe on Thursday at market close. And then we get into the financials. I've been active in SoFi Technologies in the last week or so as it's dropped into the low $7. I think this is a great stock, an attractive opportunity in the $7 range. I think it'll go to $10 or $11 by end of year, if not a little bit higher. That represents at least a 20 to 30% gain. So I think that would be a long-term purchase. It's a very affordable stock at under $8 right now. So you can pick up some of that and hold that for the long term. And I think you'll do very well with that company. The others I'm staying away from right now, just as things work out. We're getting some CPI and PPI data this week, as well as some Fed talk or Fed speak being released this week. So that all has to do with inflation, and inflation has to do with where interest rates are going. So we're just going to hold off on that because the banks are heavily affected by interest rates. And until we start to see an actual cut, which they're now anticipating the first one to happen in the June timeframe, I think as soon as that is kind of locked in and we see that happen, financials will take off. And the big ones in particular, as opposed to the regionals, although they should benefit as well. But I'm holding off until then because I think they're just going to move in a very narrow window between now and that time, unless there's some other big occurrence like a bank failure that happens in the marketplace. So that's where we are today. I wish you the best in your trades. If you like these updates, subscribe to the channel and tell your friends so that they can get educated on how to trade stocks and be an active trader.